Mentor Circles and the Practice of Mentoring with Doug Lawrence. Hello, I'm Doug Lawrence. I am an international certified mentor, and I've received my Certificate of Achievement Mentoring, my Certificate of Competence Mentor, and I'm currently working on my Certificate of Competence Journey Mentor, all of which I'm getting through the international mentoring community. Now, I'm expanding my practice to include mental health, mental well-being, and post-traumatic stress, which is covered under the Certificate of Competence Journey Mentor. But more on that later. Let's talk about mentoring circles. So, why mentoring circles? I want to take you back a little bit in time. I've been doing this now for probably 3 to 4 years where I've been facilitating mentoring circles. And it all started by absolutely wonderful couple, husband and wife team that were doing some mentoring in a couple different places, working with me to be able to share the gift of mentoring. And they had said it would be really great if we could have a time and a place where we could get together and talk about all things mentoring, with the idea in mind of expanding their toolkit so that they could bring additional value to what they were already bringing. So we launched the mentoring circle, and we, through that mentoring circle process, we've been able to reach out to a number of different people satisfying different needs. So how does this all take place? So what I've found that's worked really well is everybody loves to have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or something like some refreshment of some sort. So we get together every second Saturday in a coffee place that has space for us to be able to congregate. And we we actually have a conversation about all things mentoring is probably the best way for me to describe that. So to give you some insight into who actually attends these particular events, I have people that are currently working as mentors in different types of capacities. I have people that are learning or wanting to learn how to be a better mentor. And I have people that are there because they recognize the value that they can get from these conversations on how that they can better deal with situations in a workplace. So I know one of the individuals comes religiously to these sessions and always seems to be able to take something away that they can apply in their workplace. Maybe they need to have a crucial conversation with somebody, and it happens that one of the topics that we talk about is crucial conversations. And so we go through a number of different questions, some of them very, very deep in nature, and some of them very sort of skimming the surface of the mentoring process in its entirety. But all in all, at the end of the day, the majority, in fact, all the people, when I ask the question, what was the value that you got from today? They all speak very, very highly, very confidently that they got more than they had really bargained for by attending, by attending the mentoring circle. So some of the things to think about when you're going to set up your mentoring circle is that, number one, you need somebody who's good at facilitating to be able to keep the dialogue going. You want that person to be able to commit to the mentoring circle, because there is a bit of time that's required to research questions and then follow up, to make sure that you've got the material that you need in order to be able to provide a meaningful experience for those people that are attending. So make sure that you've got that. Research a place that you can actually gather as a group. So we've gone anywhere from 6 to 8 is the norm. So 6 to 8 people to as high as 13 or 14 people. And not every coffee place is going to welcome you with open arms. So research your logistics, research that very well, and maybe even ask the owner if it's all right if you meet there, if you can reserve a section or a table. One of the place that we typically congregate has a separate room, and usually no reservations are required, although suggested that perhaps that's the best approach to take, but we typically don't register, and we've been very fortunate. I think we've only been bumped a couple of times out of all of that. So choose the logistics very carefully. do your, like I mentioned before, do your research to make sure you have the material that you need in order to facilitate the conversation and that. And you as the facilitator, you do need to take ownership of that. I've tried different approaches, and that seems to be the best one to get the results that you need to get. I want you to look at this from the mentoring circle as part of the mentoring community, and it's a way for us to all get together, or not all to get together, but for some of us to get together and have a conversation about all things mentoring. So think of it from the community aspect. Now, there is a meetup.com website that you can go if you're thinking of launching your own program, mentoring circle, or even something else. You can go to the meetup site and join that and become an administrator or owner of a site. And from there, people can RSVP, they can send comments, you can schedule events ahead of time and everything else. It's a great tool. There is a fee for using that. But it's well worth it. I've been using it almost since day one, and it's a great tool. There's a bit of homework that you have to do where you need to go in at the end of every mentoring circle, and you take a look at the RSVP list, and those that didn't RSVP but came, you add them to the list, and those that did RSVP but didn't show, you remove them from the list of attendees, so that you can actually have an accurate list of who attended and when. And so it's a great tool. So I want you to consider very carefully the aspect of wanting to launch your own mentoring circle. It's a great, absolutely phenomenal, fabulous, all the buzzwords I can think of. It's an absolute great way to promote community, the mentoring community as a whole. So I encourage you to think about that. If you run into problems or you have questions, please reach out to me, and you can reach me at Doug.Lawrence, that's Doug.Lawrence at talentc, so the word talent with the letter C on the end, .ca. If you get stuck, go to my website as well. There's a contact us page there that you can go and do so through that mechanism as well. But in the meantime, folks, look forward to seeing some of you that listen to this today and go, aha, I need to go to this mentoring circle. Look forward to seeing you. We actually have one coming up this weekend on the 11th. So I look forward to seeing as many of you there as I possibly can. And in the interim, make every minute a mentoring minute. Take care.